to Invited Back with Sabbath Kapahu. We are in Easter week of 2021, and I can't think of a better way to spend time together being invited back than thinking about the story. And not just the story of Jesus on the cross, but really the story of humanity. This morning I was reading in Hebrews chapter 6, and I was thinking about this pattern that runs throughout our history as we know it, those of us that are living today, right now, in 2021, but also a history that reaches back to the Israelites in the desert, that reaches back to the Garden of Eden. And I was thinking about this pattern that runs through history. It's a threat of judgment, juxtaposed with the reality of hope. There is a pattern of God's faithfulness, and in response to that, a call to perseverance. There's a pattern of refugees who sought safety in temples and of forerunners who came first in military campaigns. And then there's Jesus, who went forward on our behalf and changed everything. This is what Hebrews 6:17 through 20 says. So when God desired to show more convincingly that the heirs of the promise, the unchangeable character of his purpose, he guaranteed it with an oath, so that by two unchangeable things, in which it is impossible for God to lie, we who have fled for refuge might have strong encouragement to hold fast to the hope set before us. We have this as a sure and steadfast anchor of the soul, a hope that enters into the inner place behind the curtain, where Jesus has gone as a forerunner on our behalf, having become a high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Now, there is so much imagery in this section of scripture. I am not here to dissect it, but if we just think about the reality that we have hope, and how deep and heavy and unchanging an anchor is, that even though the waves and the wind pull us left and right, it doesn't mean there isn't any struggle, but it means there is something anchoring us down. And Jesus has gone as a forerunner. He is the one that is the first to battle, the first to fight for us. On our behalf, he entered into the place behind the curtain. The refugees used to seek shelter and safety in the temples, but they never went behind the curtain. But Jesus invited us in. This week I was doing some Easter activities with my kids. I have 4 kids, for those of you who don't know. And my daughter was coloring, and there was 2 coloring sheets that she had. One was a picture of 3 crosses, and the other picture was of the tomb with the stone rolled away. And she was just coloring, and I happened to be taking pictures and recording, and I caught her explaining what was happening in her picture. And so I'm going to play the recording of her little sweet voice. Her name is the Greek word for truth. And she shares it so eloquently here in the voice of a 5-year-old. The story and the joy that
of Jesus, but this is me happy that Jesus is alive, and I just forgot the one. And this is Mommy. She's with me too. And this is when Jesus died on the cross. But then he was gone at the tomb because he wise. He took advantage to die to save his people. But then when Mary went to visit Jesus, he wasn't there because he wise.
My encouragement for us this week is that there is hope on whatever part of the journey you are in. I hope that this weekend you can find refuge and safety and hope in this story. Until next time, aloha.